guest speaker around, and is in the person of Mr. Aino Olushola, and we'll just go through his profile, and then we just dive in straight. I know Olushola is a mining engineer by profession, with over 30 years in oil and gas industry, in project and construction management, as well as health safety and quality management. A graduate of Federal University of Technology, Lakure, an alumni of many prestigious institutions in Nigeria, including Lagos Business School, Lagos Business School, Netherlands, the School of Politics, Policy and Governance, and Institute of National Transformation, among others. He is also a PhD student in Operation Management at the University of Johannesburg. Shola has executed many legacy projects in Nigeria oil and gas industry, including LMA, Petrochemical and Energy Train 1 and 2 as youngest site manager at that time, a recipient of many awards in the oil and gas industry. In his professional front, Shola is a chartered engineer and enterprise risk expert, as well as registered consultant. He is a member of many professional bodies, including Nigeria Society of Engineers, Fellow of Institute of Change Management, Fellow of Institute of Chartered Business Consultant, Fellow of Institute of Management Consultant, Fellow of Nigeria Institute of Facility Engineers, as well as other professional bodies outside Nigeria. He is also a farmer, public speaker, and a founder of Citizens' Rights Awareness, an NGO for Nigerian youth. He is presently a consultant in one of the gas midstream company in the eastern part of Nigeria. He is passionate about Nigeria as a country, charity, leadership, and coaching of young Nigerians. He is happily married with 3 adorable children. Please join me and make welcome Olushola Aino this evening. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful for that citation, and I would like to stand on the existing protocol by appreciating the governing body of Institute of National Transformation, and well as the board. I just want to thank everyone, and also I would like to thank all my friends that have joined online. So let me quickly go straight to what we have for today. All right, so let me just, please, can you just give me a little time to do justice to that? Or do you want to share it for me remotely? Oh, okay, now let me do it from here, please. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, but the slide have not started.
Okay. Can you see it now? Is it okay now?
No.
Can we see it?
Not yet presenting.
It appears you are sharing a second monitor. We are seeing your desktop inside your slides.
Oh, okay. I know what is happening. Okay. Let me. Okay, can you share yours if I'm having, because of our time, we have a lot to talk about, because this is a very important topic. So can you see it from here? Can you see it also?
Okay, so
Can you see it?
Yes, sir. But you may need to go to presenter mode.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Fine.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So good evening once again. So I'm going to talk about masses versus politician. Review of Nigerian political landscape is a very, very interesting topic. This topic is as a result of my conversations with so many people of different strata in the society. You hear people saying, oh, well, the problem of Nigerians are the politicians, these guys are clueless, and so on and so forth. And when you meet some politicians who are my friend, they said, Nigerian masses are confused. They don't know what they want. So they are the problem. We are not the problem. So, and you see this conflict keeps, coming and on and on. So I just want to, based on that, and I've had discussions with some politicians, with some friends, with several people. I've had this conversation with them to, what are your thoughts on this? And that was informed my presentation this evening. So as we know, Nigerian democracy holds a lot of immense promise, huge, if I can say that. But the problem that we are having right now is the gap between the two critical mass of our democracy, the politicians and the masses. Because it's like chicken and egg. Which one comes first? Is it the politicians or the masses? And the politicians are from the masses. And the masses, at the end of the day, the politicians will go back to the masses as well after finishing their retirement or their tenure, as the case may be. So we often blame ourselves. So for how long are we going to be blaming ourselves? And at what point do we want to stay focused on national issue and do what is right? So that is just the discourse I want to share with all of us, and we have a question and answer. So I need to put a caveat. I'm not exonerating the politician, but I just want to talk about this unnoticed conflicts that is brewing up. And if we don't do something immediately, it may snowball into something that is not going to be okay. So who are the politicians? Let's put it in that context. We need to understand who are these politicians. Because when you hear politician, what comes to our mind is, oh, somebody on the street, somebody a governor, and so on and so forth. But it's more than that. So, and if you look at it, is a person who is professionally involved in politics as a holder. We need to holder an elected office. So who is the holder and who is the elected office? So an elected official is, somebody that we think their politics, they can be in the local, state, world, national, and holding different position as the case may be. Maybe for your councillor, your local government, and so on and so forth. Or somebody that is running for an office. So we need to know that. So it's not only people that are elected are politicians. People that are equally seeking to be voted for, they are equally politicians. And also people that are actively involved in politics, they are equally politicians. We don't see them. They can be quiet, they can be under shadow, they can be, Yoruba call them Baba Sale, as the case may be. You never see them. But these are the people that are very powerful and they call the shot. They are equally politicians. And all of them, what they look for is to get votes. So also, let's also look at the landscape of these politicians. In Nigeria, we have two dominant political parties, the APC and the PDP. Then we have the smaller one that are waxing strong as well, like the Labour Party, the APGA, the African Action Congress, and other one. That these are the people that are really, really gaining the critical mass of the youth, based on the last election. So now, what are the party platforms that is common to Nigeria? The ideology play in this regard, and also Nigerian parties often focus on regional interests and the charismatic leader rather than strict policies position. We need to know that. They is also always on regional interest and a charismatic leader, not on the street policy positions, which is what other countries are doing. And Nigerian political scene is centered around political parties, which is another flaws that I want us to consider. Now, let's look at one thing about this. Nigeria have 109 Senate seats, 360 House of Rep, 36 governor, 991 state assemblies, and 41 ministers, of course, one president, one. Imagine we have the senators doing what is right in 109 senatorial districts. Imagine 360 out of rep doing the right thing in terms of policies and doing what it's supposed to do. Imagine 36 state governors doing what they're supposed to do. Now, what is their role? Like I mentioned, it's just representing the constituency. Are they doing that? Do we allow them to do it? That's the question. Are they doing that? Can we allow them to do it? Then they are also lawmakers. So they have to make laws. So what kind of laws are they making? Is a law in tandem with what is obtainable in 21st century, or is it an old way of doing business? Then they have to do an oversight. That means holding government accountable. Are they really holding the government accountable? Are they ensuring public funds are used effectively? Remember, what they supposed not to focus on the regional interest or their leader, but rather street policy position. But are they doing it? Now, Nigerian politicians, I mean, they wear many hats. They represent people working to improve their constituency lives. They are lawmakers crafting legislation that's shaping the countries, and they are also watchdog. So imagine us having 100 senators doing that. Imagine us having 360 House of Rep doing that. How will Nigeria could have been by now? So now, who is Nigerian masses? So we have talked about the politician now. Let's move quickly to the masses now. So a Nigerian masses refer to regular people of Nigeria, especially those who are not wealthy or holding high positions in society. And this is the critical mass of people that we have in Nigeria. The common people, these are general, this is the most general meaning. It refers to majority of Nigeria that go about their normal lives. The artisans, the engineers, as the case may be, they're just trying to make an end meet. And these people are the real critical mass. Like I always tell people, 20 drive the 80%. So these are the 80% of Nigeria, or people that are struggling economically. These are the masses. And they are also the electorate who vote during the elections. So Nigeria is blessed and beaming with these potentials. These Nigerian masses, they are, because these are everyday people, and these are the people that are driving the force of economy, culture, and progress. So now look at it. We've talked about the politicians now, and we have talked about the masses now. So you can see these two now. One is to make policies, one is to make sure things are okay. The other one are the critical mass that drive the economy. So now let's go. What are the characteristics of these masses? Now, they are, like I mentioned earlier on, they are all over the places. You can see them in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, or anywhere, all the local government area or the headquarters and all that. And they form the vast of Nigerian, the vast of Nigerian population. And they belong to a diverse background in terms of ethnicity, religion, and culture. Remember that. And they live, one of the important things about these masses is that they live side by side in rural and urban areas with the elites, including the politicians. So they are not far away from us at all. They are not far away from the politicians, the people that are making laws for them. And that is why we need to dive into, wow, where is this conflict? And how can we manage this conflict? And they're probably low class anyway. They can be civil servants, peasant traders, farmers, as the case may be. And they form the highest percentage of people living Nigeria for a better life. So this Japa syndrome is like I always tell people, is like losing your own gain. I mean, your own loss is another person's gain. So they are the majority of the people that feel that, no, I can't stand this. And I mean, they just leave because the politicians don't have anywhere to go. They stay here. So we need to now understand the characteristics of that. So where is the conflict? I did a quick review in my studies where when I was, given this assignment, I quickly went into cyber, do some review, engage some people, and these are my feedbacks. Number one, he said the two have not been transparent to each other over the years. That was a debate. I engaged a senior, I engaged a mentor, and he said, look, we are not being sincere to one another. We are not transparent. Another one said, average Nigeria is suspicious of everything and everything, anything and everything. So we can see that one is Quora. It's there online. And average Nigeria don't trust the government official, civil servant, as well as the politician. That is more or less like the first one. We can see that one in Naira land. And he said, an average Nigeria is willing to contribute to the development of their country due to trust issue. We see that a lot in urban city, where people contribute money to do roads, contribute money to do a red pole, contribute money to buy transformer, contribute money to do a lot of things that taxes supposed to do. Value hard work and perseverance as a means of achieving success challenges. Work hard to provide themselves and their family to pursue the career because of the lack of trust. And this is what, again, when you see people that are moving out of the country, the amount of money parents, families are paying, the premium they are paying for people to leave the country is something that, there was a statistics that says over $10 billion every year when people migrate out of the country, for education in UK, US, and Canada. That's huge. That amount of money will turn around our educational system in Nigeria, but we keep pumping it overseas. So that is another one. Then he said, an average Nigeria is very intelligent, hardworking, and for the can do and never say never attitude. This is another one. This is part of what, a characteristic of conflict, why the conflict, we have the conflict. The masses are thinking, I have this potential. I have anybody to help me out in this. So that also brings, because they feel that I'm wasting away, I'm wasting my talent, I need to go to somewhere else. And also, one thing again is an average Nigerian or masses is docile towards common goal. Nigerian voice. So they feel that, they just allow things to happen. They don't move. Then also, they see money as something that has to be earned no matter what. That is wrong. Because the moment you say you want to earn money no matter what, ethical line has been broken. Integrity has been broken. A lot of things have been broken when it says no matter what. So an average Nigerian also believe that somehow Nigerian problem will be solved by God alone and not through human. That is wrong. That's the common saying. No, but God has created us in his own image and his own likeness. The likeness of God is to reason. The likeness of God is to be able to think things through. So it's not correct when it's a bad culture when people say it's only God that can solve the problem. No, we will solve this problem. Then also the masses have a lot of tribal sentiment for their own men. Even if the person is doing the wrong thing, they said he's our own man. Like what Professor Lumumba said. He said they will say, this is our thief. It's not your own thief. Even when they discover that the person has done something that is not right. And Nigerian masses also believe that politics is for rich people. Therefore, they only get involved for immediate gain and not long time. This is also a sample response that I got. And masses believe that the elites or the politicians always have their way in Nigeria, no matter their effort. Also, this is part of what I want to diffuse out of our mind, that if we can come together, no matter you throw in your money, we will make a change. So now I want to talk to us about the implication of, I won't talk about the politicians, talk about the masses, talk about why the crisis. There's need for us to quickly do just an overview of why Nigeria, on why the multidimensional poverty index in Nigeria. This is 2022 from Nairametrics, sorry. When I looked at this picture, I was asking myself, these are the reason why there is this conflict from masses and the politician. Because when you look at Sokoto on his own, apart from farming, Sokoto have clay, they have flakes, they have gold, they have granite, phosphate, potash, so many mineral resources. The same thing with Kebbi. Kebbi has iron ore, they have copper, aluminum, quartz. These are the things that they use. Manganese. Manganese is used for steel. And they have clay and gold as well. When you look at Jigawa, Jigawa have tin, they have iron ore, they have gold, they have copper. When you go to Yobe, they have silica, they have sand, they have gypsum, they have diatomite, which is used to filter industrial chemical, sorry. Then when you look at Gombe have coal, zinc, laterites, so many of them. You're not looking at Plateau State, bed of so many things, uranium, tungsten, so many things that they have. And if you look at my beloved Bayelsa, that have natural gas, have crude oil and so on. So why do they belong into the region with this multi-dimensional poverty? Because there is a conflict between the people that govern and the governed. The two of them are having this conflict. So this one want to do something, they always ask for an handout. We'll discuss that in the next slide. No single state in Nigeria supposed to belong to any, supposed to have any multidimensional poverty. None. Not a single state in Nigeria. Every state in Nigeria is blessed with one thing or the other, apart from farming. So this is a call for us to understand. So what is the implication of this? And as of last year, Nigeria was 98 over 169 on Fragile State Index ranking. And the following are the implications of the poor political landscape. One, we are losing our youth to unproductive ventures, the quick money syndrome, the banditry, the talks, because that conflict is there. That opportunity is not there. We are losing that. Then also constant civil unrest and increase in social insecurity. We are losing our culture. We are losing our values that make us to be who we are. There is a poor advocacy by the elites, including religious leaders. So we need to, these are part of the reason that intellectual and capital flight to other countries where political landscape is friendly is going on. Then dignity in labor is fast disappearing. Everybody wants to be graduates. But I tell you, you can be a technician and still be successful. Very, very successful. The Halliburton of this world, all these BB companies that we have, most of them are technicians and they are doing well. Their company outlived them. Their family values is a serious attack because of this. Then breakdown of citizen. If you look at this, the underlying or the outcome of all these issues is mental health. Nigeria has never experienced the rate of mental health as it has experienced right now. A lot of people are on suicide watch, people are hungry, so many things are happening, and there's signs of hopelessness and their faith in the society. So these are the implications of a poor political landscape. So, and more importantly, many people, I can say this, some of my friends say this, Nigeria is my workshop, other countries is my home. And I said, we will change this story. Nigeria is home as well. And they say, well, that's you, but for me, I work here, I make my money here, and I leave. So I asked myself, how can you make your money here and leave? This is the topic for another day. So now, what makes politicians fail? I haven't talked about the issues and all that. Why did they fail? Number one, this is the feedback I got from a friend who is a politician. Number one, he said the pressure for handout from families, friends, and all that. He said you cannot imagine it. That the moment you are elected, your friends are saying, what about you? Find us something, do this, do that. I said, and he put pressure on them. Then also another one is okay, because an individual has been the party supporter for a long time, even when he's not competent, they put him or her there. So it's like putting a square peg on a wrong goal. So it won't fit at all. And also our political landscape is very toxic due to layer of sentiment, engagement, and consultations. Some of my friends that test the water some times ago, they need to see a lot of people. You don't see it physically, but you need to. There is a series of settlement. There are a series of consultations you need to make. When I was attending SPPG, one of us was able to explain what she passed through just for a position in one of the states in Nigeria. Then speaker culture among Nigeria is not encouraged. So it is considered as a taboo or being rude. So these are part of the things why the political, what makes politicians fail, because they can't talk. They can't tell the man that, look, what you are doing is wrong. Then also the cost of campaign in Nigeria is very, very high. And to serve people effectively, hence discourage competent people like you and I who are listening to me. And most elites with superior ideas shy away from participating in political affairs due to locality, due to its rough terrain. So, and also most politicians are in position for business and not to serve people. Politics is about people and service and nothing else. Then oftentimes they are overwhelmed with Godfather's demand, like I mentioned earlier on. Layers of settlements, engagement, and consultation makes them not to be effective. Then also, they are focused on short gain. I mean, I hear in some of us people have heard it. They're already talking about 2027. What about now? What about making life comfortable for people? So, and this is not sustainable at all. Then the very key important that I heard from the feedback is electoral manipulation, break down electoral laws and policy not duly followed. This is why the politicians fail. So now, the crisis between the masses and the masses, when you look at these two, so the heart of the crisis between the masses and the politicians is as follows. The masses look at the politicians as being corrupt, and the politicians also look at the masses as being confused, as being someone who is actually corrupt, not them, because you are pushing them to be corrupt. So there's also a problem in that regard. Then the masses see the politicians that you make a pronouncement and you don't deliver it. And this also fuel, that emotion that these guys are not true. And the politician will also say, you made me to make that pronouncement, but you didn't give me the environment to make that promise because you are asking for money. The lack of accountability because the system is weak. There's no check and balance. A politician just operate with impunity because the masses also are not putting their leg on fire to do the right thing. Then also security concern. Most of my friends that I talk to that are in politics, they said they don't feel safe to move. And you may ask them, it's because you don't put the policies in place. But they keep saying that, look, I don't feel safe because if I go to my constituency, I may be attacked. Then also, there are disparities in the economy and the lack of opportunity. I want us to know one thing about opportunity. Opportunity, there are several layers of opportunity. Opportunity can be in career, opportunity can be in business, opportunity can be in life, opportunity can be in health, opportunity can be in anything. An average Nigerian don't have this opportunity to do what they're supposed to do, to bring the best out of them, to make them be what they're supposed to do, because the political landscape is not really conducive for them. But that has to change. Then ineffective service delivery. If you look at most of our infrastructure, we have an infrastructural decay in Nigeria. By now, the National Theatre is supposed to be up and running. By now, Abuja National Stadium is supposed to be running. By now, National Stadium in Sule is supposed to be running. By now, the Adama Sigba is supposed to be running. By now, the one in Port Harcourt is supposed to be running. All over the countries, those infrastructures are not working because the political landscape is not there. Therefore, the means to get the confidence of Nigeria is not there. Gone are the days when we have Shooting Star. Gone are the days we have Lobby Star. Gone are the days we have Rangers B and all that. But what we have is now Arsenal, we have Manchester and all that. In those days, those are the people that we and that was the time when Nigeria was so good and everybody was involved, the masses and the politicians. So now, what is the impact of this crisis really? It brings public delusion because they don't trust the politicians. So because of that, that connection is not there. There's always a social unrest, frustrations due to the status quo that, therefore, because they feel that sense of hopelessness, there's always civil unrest. Then stagnant development, I've mentioned that one, talking about our infrastructural decay. Ethnic and religious tension, this is the key that the politician has been using for Nigerians for years. But I pray that one day this key will be broken, because if the religious doesn't go, they use ethnic. If the ethnic doesn't work, they use religion. And these two are the one that they normally use in falling Nigeria. But as we go, the next slide, the subsequent slide, you will see that this is changing and it's going to change. Then, of course, foiling insurgency when things and when that hope is not there, and this also lead to increased crime rates, which will lead to poverty and so on and so forth. And in all, from 1 to 6, the downside of it is brain drain. We are losing intellectuals, talent, technology to other countries, but this needs to be reversed. So because the impact of crisis between the masses and the politicians hinder Nigerian progress in all sizes. It's hinder everything. So, and that is why it's very important that I want to challenge every one of us to be actively involved in that your corner, in that your area of influence. We need to be involved. So now, let's talk quickly about, different kind of layers of elites and their roles. If you look at this one, when you hear elites, most people always think that it is only a political sphere. But no, we have political elites, we have the business, we have the traditional, we have religion, we have educational and cultural elites. And all these layers of elites have a role to play. The one in politics, provide leadership and direction and set the tones for national development and progress, and decentralize power to credible individual with national development. This one was practiced with Lee Kuan Yew and practiced also with Paul Kagame, practiced with some other people, practiced with our father, founding father. Business elites, those are the people that drive the economic growth through investment, job creation, innovation, charity, CSR, healthcare services, and leverage on their connection to attract foreign investment. This one is one of the areas that change the perception of the country. You could imagine, if you could imagine how people see Nigeria in terms of entertainment, the likes of Davido, the likes of all the Burna Boys and all that. They see our Nollywood, our fashion industries. These are the people that are bringing this. Those one is entertainment elites. I forgot to hide that one into that, because that's another elite that changed the narration. I've seen a white guy, a friend of mine, that said, "What is in that country? You guys are so talented. You guys are so good. Look at what is coming out from your country." So in business brings a lot of jobs, change the perception of the country. So that's how they want to wait. Then it has a lot to play. Then when you're talking of traditional elites, this area addresses the social and political challenges in terms of behavior, in terms of cultural values, in terms of making sure that the youth are not engaged in anything that is not positive into the communities. That is the role of our royal fathers. And that is why I said every one of us has a role to play. In the religious elite, this is where we are talking about moral compass in the society. If we look at the way the John Wesley of this world, the way those people that that brought religions into Christianity to Africa, look at the way they were able to shape in the moral standard at that time. So the people in religious faith, either as a Christian, as a Muslim, or whatever religion affiliation you have, you have the right to, because that is the critical mass of this country, to change the way we behave, to change our moral and infuse discipline into every fabric of Nigeria. And of course, when you're talking of educational and cultural allies, you are talking about the likes of Chebe, you're talking the life of Chimamanda, so many of them like that, Wole Musoyinka, and so on and so forth. These allies, you know, these are the people that promote education through revision of curriculum, promote cultural values, like Auntie Obi. These are the people, and the masses. What is the masses doing? We need to educate the masses, engage, monitor, and enlighten them about their civil responsibility, both young and old. So the future of Nigeria lies within the citizen. And engaged and informed citizenry is essential for a strong society, as we can see. So now, in conclusion of this, imagine us as a nation having people coming together on a round table to discuss, irrespective of your background, you know, having a real debate to discuss, getting engaged. It will, I mean, that means if we're able to do that, it will, and strengthen our anti-corruption institution, Nigeria is going to be a world-class, it's going to be a country that everybody will love to visit. We are good people. We are strong people. We are reliable. We are dependable. Nigeria, I'm telling you, I'm proud to be in Nigeria any day, anytime, and I'm not changing my passport. You know, and, you know, empowered civil society is a vibrant society. A political reform, it will bring a political reform, you know, whereby measure the courage issue campaign and reduce the influence of money in politics, if all of us could just come together and discuss. Now, there's a caveat to this. There is no easy way, easy solution to all these crises of trust, but there's a pathway. So let's support and strengthen the institution tasked with fighting corruption. A strong society can be a powerful watchdog, holding the politician to advocacy. Then political reform to encourage candidates to focus on the real issue and reduce undue influence of money in our policy can help to build trust. Allies should join forces and be actively involved in policy by sponsoring a candidate and fund it adequately. So it's not just to say, oh, these are our guys and leave him or her. We need to fund it. So Nigeria shall rise again. That's my final note. Nigeria shall rise again. And there is an increase in youth population demanding better governance. Those children that we send abroad, those children that parents send abroad, they are coming back, and they are coming back to change this country. They are going to be what they've seen the other crimes. They've seen the other nature. There's one medical doctor now that is coming from the US, relocating to Nigeria because his special area of specialization is about arthritis. And I was happy. That is an indication. A lot of footballers have said, I'm going to play for Nigeria. Though they were born over there, we can see it in Nigerian Green Eagle, Flying Eagle. So technology and innovation, there are a lot of people are coming out to promote transparency and voters participation. Fighting corruption, anti-corruption efforts are gaining momentum, and there is a hope for brighter future. Ethical institutions, a lot of them are coming. One is INT that I am right now, SPPG, YAGA Africa, Center for Policies, Research and Development, Reformers Arise Network, National Democracy Institute. So many of them are coming. And these people are saying we must do things right. And social media also. The social media is playing a role in reporting and unpacking a lot of situations of public attention. This is creating a lot of awareness among citizens. You can see a lot of young ones snapping pictures, saying a lot of things. So there's nothing to hide again. So if Nigeria fails, we are to be blamed, not the politician alone, but the masses alone. All of us are to be blamed because we all have a role to play in this nation building. Despite the challenges, there are reasons for optimism. Number one, Nigerian youth is increasingly engaging in politics, demanding drastic change. We can see that in last election. There is a growing public sentiment against corruption. with effort underway to address this critical issue. Nigerian parents are training critical mass of Nigerian youth abroad that will import the best practice into every space of Nigerian economy. This is another unnoticed revolution that will change the political landmass of Nigeria over time. An average Nigeria can survive and become a dominant individual figure due to life experience at home. And this is time to harvest them because they belong here. They belong to Nigeria. And on this note, I want to say, may God bless Nigeria and may God bless every one of us. Thank you for listening. Over to you, moderator. Hello.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was a session. That's serious, too much information. And we thank God for that. If you have question, either write as a chat or you indicate by raising your hands so that we can ask you to speak forth. And in the meantime, one of the things that that touched me is the fact that was said that political landscape must be right for national development. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We're very grateful. So without wasting much of our time, please, if you have questions, please, or you have something to say, comments or clarification. So please, let's, all right. I have one here already. Mr. Samson Arawole, please go ahead and.
Wow. What can I say? This is very impressive. This is very, very, very impressive. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about the speaker that you guys brought to the table today. Since he was a little boy like this, he's been very, very passionate about Nigeria. And I really, even though, yeah, I learned a lot from the little presentation that he gave, especially the way he broke it down, and I see a lot of passion there. But one thing that I wanted to add, just a takeaway, because this is something that I'm interested into, but unfortunately, let me put it that way, is that all those things that Engineer Shola put across, if I can call him that, all the points he puts out, they are extremely good, they're extremely nice, they're extremely passionate. But one thing that I don't see there that has bothered me, I just came back from Nigeria about 3 months ago, actually 2 months ago, is that the whole country, I'm not talking about politicians or individuals, literally the whole country are in survival mode. The whole country is in survival mode. Now, the danger of that is that when they are in survival mode, the concept of me first comes in. Me first. You can see that in traffic. You can see that in business. You can see, look at everywhere, every facet of the country, every facet. You start a business, you hire people there, you pay them salary, they still begin to steal. You know, their justification will be that because they don't see it as being a thief. Because the mentality is survival first. And because they cannot guarantee that the salary you paid them last month can take them to the next month. There's no control for fuel. There's no control for road. There's no control for gas. There's no control for anything. So that's why I said the key thing, first of all, is to identify the mentality. The people that are scrambling to go to the politicians for the money they can get now, they don't care about tomorrow because they don't know about tomorrow. They just want to survive for today first. But politicians will take advantage of that because the business of politics is perpetuation of poverty. The people must remain in poverty. They must remain in ignorance. They must not be able to participate in that politics effectively. The day they are able to do all those three things, politicians, they will hold politicians accountable. Nigerians doesn't want to be held accountable. Politicians doesn't mean to be held accountable. A little example is that how many Nigerians, for instance, buys insurance for their cars? Let's put it that way. That's the smallest thing. But because we're in survival mode. But I don't want to belabor this, but I really love the topic. But three things that I'm writing about is that three things holds a nation: culture, language, and religion. If you look at those three things, if you look at all the successful countries and continents in the world, they hold that. Africa is the only one that doesn't have it. Chinese, they can go to the best schools in the world. They will teach themselves in Chinese. Russians, whatever. It's only in Africa that we see English language as a measure of intelligence. It's just a freaking language. It's a language, it's not a measure of intelligence. Somebody comes to my house and wants to marry my daughter, and he comes in and says, shush. Would I be excited? I look at my daughter, are you sure this is going to be your future husband? I cannot even pronounce shush. I cannot pronounce church. That's why I call it shush. The key thing is that, like he rightly pointed, like Engineer Shola pointed out, it is an individual thing. All of us, we need to begin to divest ourselves of that culture of me first, because that is when you can make sacrifices. Until you can make sacrifices and the sacrifice begins to go around, then things will go well. Thank you very much, Engineer Shola. I really, this is one of the best use of my 1 hour time this afternoon. I saw that online. I just felt that we haven't spoken in a long time, that I would love to join. No problem. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Bayo. Hello, Mr. Bayo. Maybe network. Mr. Bayo.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. We have another question. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a question here, sir. We have a question here for you from Mr. Tony Nacheta. Thank you so much, Engineer Enough, for that profound presentation. My question is, how do we curb the monster of violence, especially during our elections? The mainstream politicians are like bullies. So the younger ones that wants to do things right are afraid of this type of politicking. So
okay.
The question is, how do we curb the monster of violence during election?
Okay, so this is a very good question. And what I always tell people is that nations just don't transform or being built within a short period of time. If you look at what happened last year, if you look at the history of Nigeria since 2003, you will see that awareness is building up. And what I always tell people is this: to curb that, we need to work. We need to work in, and not in the, we don't work when it is time for politics. We work now. What I do now, I have a case study. One of my brother that I know, one of the guys that I mentor, is, I want to project him at the time. I've started this long time ago. So it's not during the politics that I started. So the way to do this, in most cases, we, the elite, or we on this other side, we act when it is time, when it is during the election. It's too late. So what I always tell people is, we need to start engaging grassroots. We need to let them understand that, look, your daughter, your son need to attend good school. Can these people that are telling you to carry bylaw want to send their own children, their own cousin or their own nephew to go and do what they want you to do? And I've seen, I did this last election, and it yielded some dividend. About 2 of them said, you know what, I'm not going to be part of this. I'm not going to take a bullet for you. So the way we can do this is a back-end work. That means we need to start now. We shouldn't start in 2016, 2026. It's late. We start now. So as they are equally building up political machineries for 2027, we also need to start by talking. That's why I like Yaga Africa. Every time on Channel TV, they talks about what politics is all about, politics 101. So it's something that we need to do. We need to work on that. If we're able to work on that, it will reduce. And that's the only thing that I see. But we can't fight them because they are on the streets. They have the weapon, they have the backup. It's too late for us to fight them. But we can start working with them and appeal to their mind years before the election comes. That's the only way we could address it. This is from my own experience. I hope that answered that.
Thank you, sir. We have the link to the recordings. We can have the recordings, but that will be shared later. The recordings will be shared later. I have a comment from Philip Shima. We are all in the survival mode because we don't have a government. There is no institution that regularly hang only on hope. Anyway, engineer, this is not a question, but I would like you to speak to this. He said we are all in the survival mode because we don't have a government. There is no institution that regulates anything in the country. People have to hang only on hope. I'd like you to speak to this in 2 minutes, sir.
Okay, so I agree 100% that we're in survival mode, but we do have government. Until I was able to meet a constitutional lawyer in Abuja, I never knew my rights as a citizen of this country. I never. So, yes, we are on that survival mode. Yes, we have the government, but how many people are enlightened enough to know what is right? And if we continue with this mentality, we will never fix this country. I am talking from my experience that engagement has helped a lot. We know these politicians before they were elected. We know, we have their address. They are with us. Some of them are our friends. Some of us are our schoolmates. We know what we need to do is to give them life into their roles. For instance, if I engage one of the politicians, he just feel that, okay, and the people that will cut the shot is actually the grandfather and the godfather. But by the time I made him to understand the role as a local government chairman, his role and what he's supposed to pay and the expectation in line with the constitution, in line with what is there for, he was amazed. And the power he holds in his hand, he was amazed. He said he never knew this. So what I want us to do is that it is high time we engage them. Don't let us see politicians and ask them for handouts. No, if we do that, that has messed up everything that we want to discuss with them. We should always go there with a solutions mindset. And I tell you, if you go there, oftentimes, at least 90% of that time, they would like you to come back and tell them the more. And that is the area I always address. So we are in survival mode, correct? We have government, but most of us, in most time, we don't know our rights and we don't know what is and what we are entitled to as a bona fide citizen of this great country called Nigeria. So that's what I can say about it.
Wow, thank you, sir. We're very grateful and we thank God for bringing you to us today. We are really, really blessed. This is how far we can go today. For some of us who are who came to join us as guests or visitor, you can get much more from our websites. We are run trainings that we can get more of this elitism things from. You can just check on Institute for National Transformation.org. Quite a whole lot of information are there that you could grab from. So I will just welcome the engineer Sheon Oluwalade as we begin to wrap it up for tonight. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Bayo James, and to Engineer Lushola. Very great session tonight. Thank you so much for spending the time and dissecting and sharing hope. Hope is what is really pushing us to see that there's a future and there's a reason to push for Nigeria to be what it should be. Thank you very much. And to everyone who has been here tonight, we appreciate you for being here. Just one announcement and we'll be out of the room. This is the Institute for National Transformation. We are in at least 8 countries in Africa and expanded. We do trainings on national transformation for different age groups, different organizations, different individuals. And we have some regularly scheduled trainings, and we also have others that are customized. One thing I would just mention tonight is international conference, which we have once a year in different African countries. For 2024, we had it last year in Uyo, in Akwa Ibom State. And for the current year, we are going to have that conference at the nation of Uganda. We will have that conference in Uganda. And the theme for this year, which lines up with our discussion tonight, is on the governance and the power of systems. You don't want to miss it. So the registration details will soon be out for bookings. It's going to happen in October 2024 from 21 to 27. So you can make it a family trip. You can make it a vacation trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of exchange of ideas across the African continent about the principles and the elements of making our governance system to work for us in Africa. And so with that, we'll bring tonight's session to a close as we say thank you to everybody. And I would ask that our moderator, I would ask you to actually lead us as we close tonight, and also to pray for our facilitator who has taken us through this subject this evening. Thank you very much, as you do that. Pastor Bayo James is based in the Gambia. Actually, he's in the Gambia, way some hours away from here. But he's part of the Institute for National Transformation. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Let's pray as we close tonight. Father, we thank you for bringing us this information today. We're not receiving this information just for fun, but we receive it as an information that we can work with to be used of you for national development and transformation. Thank you for our speakers. Thank you for our guests. Thank you for everyone. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye-bye. Sammy, good to see you. Yeah, Charles, my wife too was there. My wife, my son. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, engineer. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.